Hello, Noters, and welcome back to Infranodus tutorials. My name is Dr. Slawter, and I will be walking you through a common instance of when Infranodus can be useful in your classroom. I'm a college professor, and I often struggle to understand my students and their educational needs. This is acceptable and expected, right? Teachers are not mind readers after all. Still, I would love to have a tool that gives me some insight into what my students are thinking, what they are excited about, and what is causing them concern. Fortunately for me, Infranodus is an excellent engine for insight generation. What do I mean by insight generation? What sort of insights am I generating exactly? How hard is it to get those juicy tidbits of information? Well, come along with me and let's find out. The first thing you need for any Infranodus project is data. If you are a teacher, you likely have access to reams of relevant data. Your students submitted assignments. If your institution works with a learning management system, such as Canvas, Moodle, or Blackboard, then you can likely download your submitted assignments in a batch or zip file. For the Canvas learning management system, this workflow is easy. Simply go into the gradebook of whatever course you intend to analyze, select a given assignment, and then click on the three black dots next to the assignment name. You should get a pop-up menu that allows you to sort, curve, and download submissions. We're going to want to click on download and receive a nice zip file containing all of the student submissions for this assignment. Now that we have a zip file for the student submissions, we can go ahead and unzip the files and take a look at the documents. I would show you here, but you can see for yourself. Your documents are probably in HTML files. HTML is a messy file format if we're doing text analysis. So I've taken the liberty of converting my files from HTML format to the TXT format. If you need HTML files converted to the TXT format, Nearsoft offers a free and fully featured file converter. I'll leave a link for you down in the description. Now that my files are text files, I am ready to load them into Infranodus. Loading files into Infranodus is easy. It has both drag and drop functionality, as well as a traditional upload screen. Since we're uploading around 40 files, we're going to go ahead and use the traditional upload interface. So I'm going to select all these files, and I'm going to go ahead and upload them. Okay. Now, now that is certainly something. We may not know what it is exactly, but this is certainly a result. Every time you ask Infranodus to parse a text, it is going to produce a graph for you. These graphs can be very interesting, but also highly intimidating. Do not be concerned if you feel a little overwhelmed at first. Infranodus can be a powerful tool, but it can take some practice to get the most out of it. But before we get into the analysis, let's take a quick look at the data. The files I uploaded to Infranodus were student responses to a writing prompt about the difference between ethics and morality. As such, it makes sense that the two most central points in the graph, the two most important concepts in all of this writing, are indeed found right in the center. Ethics and morality are the largest, most central nodes. This means that they are connected to the most other concepts in the network and are the most important subjects in the discussion. But not everything is connected. Not all nodes appear to be part of the network. Do you see the small pink nodes over here? Let's click on one of them. Okay, that appears to be the name of the assignment. And this one over here, well, it looks like it might actually be the name of one of my students. This sort of data is not going to be useful for our purposes, so we're going to simply delete it from the graph. In order to delete a node from a graph, go ahead and select it. From there, we're going to go over to the Show Hide Statements screen over here on the left-hand side of the screen. Then we can select the Select All option on the statement screen and click the little red trash can that appears at the bottom. Yeah. This will delete the statements that created those nodes from the graph, essentially allowing you to de-anonymize student data from your graph. There we go. Now that we've cleaned up our data, removed extraneous information, and now we're ready to begin analysis. You've done all the hard work already. Now it's time for Infranodus to do the heavy lifting. In the upper right-hand corner of the screen, there's a button that looks like a bar graph. If you click that button, it opens up the Discourse Analytics panel. Go ahead and do that now. The first thing that will pop up is going to be your main ideas summary. This is intended to give you a general idea of what your data is about and the main concepts that are discussed. In this example, my students are grappling with the universality of ethics and morals and are attempting to discern the effects that culture and community can have on ethical considerations. This is excellent information to have. While I read every student submission personally, it is very helpful to get a succinct overview of what students are saying in aggregate. Personally, I find that this sort of overview is invaluable for classroom discussions, and Infranodus provides me with an easy and effective way to produce such insights. Even better, Infranodus readily provides possible discussion questions. If you take a look below Main Idea Summary, you can see another box entitled Question to Explore. These discussion questions derived from your student data and generated by Infranodus are innately well suited for use in the classroom. If you do not like the question provided, feel free to generate another one using the Reload Question button in blue. The questions generated are suitable for classroom discussion questions, exam questions, or can even be turned into standalone assignments. This is invaluable for a teacher. Teaching is not about having the right answers, but rather about asking the right questions. With Infranodus, you will always have a ready stable of relevant queries. So, those are the basics of using Infranodus as a way to analyze student submission data for teachers. That being said, Infranodus is a very powerful tool and has many features that can greatly enhance our analysis of this data. Allow me to show you one more interesting trick that I have learned while using Infranodus in my classroom. Let's go to the upper left-hand side of the screen and click Filter By. This gives us a wide range of categories with which we can filter the graph. Let us choose the first option listed under Sentiment Positive. If we go back to the graph now, we can see that all the negative statements, such as conflict, have been filtered out. They now show up on the graph as gray. Now we can see where students are positive about by selecting the purple AI Summarize Visible button up here at the top of the screen. This should generate an AI-driven summary of the chart as it has been filtered. Let's take a quick look, shall we? As you can see, by filtering for positive statements, we can see what the students think that ethics and morality are good for, what sort of benefits they provide, and the role that they play in society. Again, because this is derived from student work, it is excellent for student engagement. These are literally the issues that my students have been working through. But are these really the largest issues for my students? Perhaps not. To better understand what my students find problematic about ethics and morality, I need to focus on the negative. Or rather, let us filter by negative statements. First, do you see that small bubble in the top left screen under Filter By? It should read Sentiment Positive. Go ahead and click that little trash can in the blue bubble. That's going to return your graph to its original unfiltered form. Now we're going to click on Filtered By again, and this time we are going to be filtering for negative statements. All right, let's highlight that graph and then go ahead and click on that AI Summarize Visible button. This is going to give us another different AI-generated snippet, this time based only upon the statements that have a negative emotional valence. As you can see, this is a demonstrably different document and provides us with unique insights. Is it morally correct, my students ask, for a mother to steal food to feed her child? When do ethics and morality come into play, and under what context do such structures break down? These are excellent questions for class discussion and are derived exclusively from the work of your students. Personally, I think that these particular approaches are best used in conjunction with weekly discussion questions. Through using Infranodus to generate insights from student work, we are able to produce relevant and grounded questions to make the best use of our time in the classroom. While it might be possible to approximate these results through manual methods, the pace and scale of contemporary pedagogical environments often precludes both close reading and meta-analysis. Infranodus provides a valuable tool for understanding, responding to, and engaging students with relevant and grounded discussion questions. That about wraps it up for us today. I've been Dr. Slaughter, and thank you very much for sticking around to learn more about this fascinating and powerful tool. Turn in next time, where I'll be discussing in greater detail about using Infranodus to improve our lectures. It should be both fun and useful. Thank you.